The variety of artists on this last project of yours is kind of, as I said earlier, it's kind of astounding, to look at, from sort of the guitar jam bandy thing, Warren Hayes to Willie Nelson, to Lucas Nelson, to Bette Midler. I mean, so many different people that you're collaborating with on this record, and you're so fluent in all these different styles. I mean, how did you approach it yourself in these collaborations with people? Was there, did you get nervous, like I'm going to play something different, or, how did...
Oh, yeah, very nervous. I was very nervous going into every session. It was, especially you mentioned Warren Haynes, and he was always one of my favorite blues kind of guitar jam band improvisers. And, all of the tracks except for three of them were all recorded live in the studio. So they're live takes. So when I was recording with Warren Haynes, I mean, I'm standing right across from him and he's, shredding on his guitar, and then he'll look at me and then I'll have to answer something. So, it's but what I love about that recording, especially the Warren Haynes recording is when we talked about the song that we played, which was On the Road to Freedom, we just kind of talked out the arrangement, but it was very loose. We said like, okay, we'll just jam a little in the front. The song's in D minor. I think it was in D minor. So we said, yeah, we'll just kind of improvise in D minor and just go back and forth. And then at some point I'll start singing, he'll start singing the verse, and then we'll go through the song, and then we'll kind of break for some solos. And, he said he'll lead off the soloing, and then we'll kind of go back and forth, and then he'll come back in, with another verse and chorus. And then after that, we'll just do, some kind of outro. And we agreed that, oh, we'll just have fun with it because we'll probably just do a fade out. So, I, so I remember, we got into the tracking room, and we kind of found a good tempo that we liked, and kind of played through a few transition parts. And then we said, okay, well, let's just go for it. So we went in there and we just started playing. And I remember I put a slight overdrive on my ukulele just to kind of match a little bit the timbre of his guitar. And I remember, so I start playing, and you can really recognize that it's an ukulele there. And then we start kind of digging into the intro. It starts getting a little bit, longer than I was expecting it to be. But we were having so much fun, and he was kind of smiling. So I was like, okay, this is great. And then I remember bending down, at my pedal board and just cranking the overdrive up just a little bit more, and then playing. And then, and then he went into then he went and started singing the verse. And then we got to the solo section. He started playing, and I noticed his guitar got a lot more aggressive too. So I remember going down to my pedal board and turning the. I started my overdrive at about maybe, I don't know, maybe around 9 o'clock. So at this point, I'm like at 12 or 1 o'clock now. And so I'm like, okay, so we're kind of getting into it. We're going back and forth, and still I'm very nervous. But at that point, I noticed I started feeling a little bit more comfortable because he's very encouraging. So I would play something, he'd look at me and he'd kind of give me a nod. So I kind of, you feel good. You're like, okay, good. I got the nod from Warren Haynes.